Good evening, everyone. How's it going? All right, I've got something a little tiny bit different tonight. As you can see, the first thing I've got different is my setup here. I've got an 8 by 10 black canvas here, and I've actually propped it up, a little bit of an easel here, just to help me. I normally have everything laid flat, and I usually have it on a Lazy Susan, but I was feeling like this was going to be much, much better for this. So we're going to try it. We're going to see how this works. All right. Tonight I wanted something to do that was a little darker, maybe a little bit kind of misty or stormy kind of feeling. And so I've got my palette over here, and I don't know if you can really see that well. So let me pick this up without spilling everything all over the place. All right, so what we've got in here, we've got Burgundy. I've got a lighter shade of Burgundy, and then I've got the Cinder Rose that I've used before. Okay, over here I've just added a little bit of the Burgundy into some white on my palette because I want to use that as well. Just some standard white, and then I've got 2 shades of gray. Now, in addition to those, I am going to go ahead and add silver to the top, and that'll be at the very, very end. So I'm not really worried about that right now. The only side note to that is that I think I want my center dot to be the silver, and I don't necessarily want to just put white here and then dot over it in the end. So and because this piece is probably going to take me an hour and a half, maybe longer, because I have a general idea of a pattern, but I did not practice this one. I did not do a sketch in advance. So this might take me just a tiny bit longer. But as far as the silver is concerned, like I said, this is going to be for the top. You've seen me do stuff on the top. So I don't want to lay it in my palette as of yet because it's probably going to be there for about an hour, and there's no point in me having it sit there for an hour and just start drying out. So what I'm going to do, at least I'm going to attempt for the first one, is I'm going to go ahead and get the lid off here real quick. Hey, hello. Hey, how's it going? Perfect timing. I am literally just getting started here. All right, so I'm just going to take the cap for this one, and I'm going in straight to a 13, and I'm going to try to get my first dot laid again just with the silver. I might come back in at a later point and go over it again, but I do at least want to get that first dot laid in. All right, I'm going to try to get this pretty heavy, but obviously being the lid, it's not going to be too deep in there. Okay. All right, let's make sure that I'm kind of centered here. Okay. Where'd my bottle go? Hello. All right. Yeah, I'm going to need to do it much deeper. So what I'm going to do, I changed my mind. Again, isn't that the usual? All right, let's go ahead and put some in here. I suppose if I waste some paint, I waste some paint because I'd rather have my first dot perfect. There, that's better. Okay, let's do that one again. Taking it kind of slow because I'm just sort of making sure it's right where I want it. That's better. Okay, it's probably the only time I'm going to use that particular tool, so I'm just going to put it away. I have so much on my desk tonight, it's not even funny. So the more space, the better. Kind of get stuff scooted off. And like I said, this will be kind of altered a little bit later. All right, let's get in here. Let's go light to dark. All right, so now I've got a 2. This is the light gray. I'm gonna move in. Ooh. I'm usually not that far away from my painting because it's flat. Now that it's up a little bit, I can actually get a little closer to it. Isn't that nice? Yeah. I'll do my best to make sure that I am putting in or saying out loud the tool sizes in case anybody does drop by that wants to do it. Okay. My only quote-unquote issue is that I'm so used to the canvas sitting on my Lazy Susan that it's going to take me a minute to adjust to not being able to swirl a canvas around. There. And you know what I noticed, guys? It is very quiet, isn't it? It's quiet. I didn't even get my music kicked on today. Let's do that real quick. What do we want to hear? Maybe some, I don't know. What do we want to hear? Some soft guitar, maybe? That might be appropriate. All right. One quick sec. Uno momento. Guitar. Can. Let's get something playing. Oh, let's make sure I got the speaker on right too. Okay, so like I said, this one might be a minute. There we go, that's better. That's better, isn't it? All right. Oh, hey, Wanda. And absolutely, you bet, you bet. I'm so glad to see some people around. I'm trying to start a little bit earlier tonight than I usually do, probably about an hour and a half earlier. So hopefully someone's still around. So really glad to see you guys. Okay, so just to kind of recap, I did a 13 on the center, and those are 2 on the first row. Actually scooched it over. I'm fine with that. Okay, 4. Let's go into the dark gray. I'm going up 2 sizes. Like I said, I'm just going to go from light to dark as much as I can here anyways. And if my hand gets in the way, I'm sorry. I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting. And I probably want to go ahead and do one more row. I need to adjust here just a little bit because as my arm is coming over, I'm going to end up in my paint palette. And even though I'm wearing about the same color shirt today as the burgundy paint, I still don't want it all over me. Okay, so that's a 4. We probably want to go up to a 6 in that case. And let's do the dark. Let's go ahead with the dark burgundy here. This is really bright right now, or it looks very, very bright, but it's not gonna dry that bright. Reach up around here. Let me go back a step. And let's see. 1.5, maybe a 2 actually. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to go around. I'm going to flip my palette around over here. And initially, oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and use silver because I have it in my palette. I was thinking let's just use the light, that white with a tiny bit of burgundy in it to do this, but while I've got the silver laid out, let's just do that. So I've got a 2 and I'm just gonna put, it's like a little filler dot in there. Doesn't have much of a purpose other than that right now. All right, so now let's get some walked dots in. What size do I want those ones to be? Probably, let's see. Thinking about a 5. Should be okay. All right, so I'm going to stick with a 5, and then I'm going to, let's see. Just go back over here, and we're going to do the mid color burgundy. Oops, get a hair out of there. The fun of having a white dog. All right. Now for this one, let's see if I want every other. That's gonna be too far. Let's go each one. Okay. Now I'm really used to using something like a 2 for the start of my walk dots, but this is already a 5. So I think I'm gonna scoot that up a notch, and we'll probably start with a 3. So we're going to go into this light one here. I somehow got a spot of the other color, so let me mix that in there. All right, there. Okay. So 3 on the top of each. Now I have a choice. I can either immediately go into a set of swooshes around these ones, or we can do a walked dot set and then a set of swooshes on the outside of those. Because essentially I'm probably going to do 3 rows on this walk dot either way. So if you have a preference, let me know. I'm going to take a quick drink. There we go. So what do you think? I can either do a small set of swooshes first or walked. Can I get this clean real quick? I'm going to stay with a 2.5. Let's go ahead and do this to start, no matter what. Let's see. Let's do a 2. Take that back. Didn't go down to a 2. Regardless of if I do a walk or a swoosh, I'm going to want these dots here anyways. So I'll go ahead and get these in. You definitely have to ooh, geesh, hello brain. My brain is not telling my tongue to do the right thing. You definitely do not have to do them one at a time, one side at a time. It just helps me. Turn my light up just a little bit because I realize it's probably a tiny bit dark. Okay. I think I'll probably go ahead with the swooshes. Swoosh. So in which case, I'm going to go for my tool here. Okay. This is the hard part. If you're going to follow along, you're just going to have to kind of gauge it by eye. I've got the nail art stylus, and this is a 2.1. Odd size, I know. 2, whatever. Like I said, you may need to adjust. Now these ones being kind of short, I would probably normally use a 1.5 for this, but I do want slightly thicker because I don't want a ton of stuff that I have to fill in between this. Okay, so you could also do it potentially with a 1.5. You're just going to end up with a bigger gap between the two. And the best way that I can tell anybody to get good at these is treat your stylus like a pencil. Lightly touch the surface. Get a good amount of paint on your tool. Don't be afraid to really dunk it. And then just pretend like you were writing, you know, nice, slow, soft cursive. That's really what it is. And then just follow the line of the dot. It took me ages to get these right, and I still don't like them very much. Often I don't think they come out nice enough, but the more you do it. Oh, I missed a dot up here. Okay, I'll fill that in. That's the same size too, but okay, one more. There. I'll have to come back and see what I want to fill in the tiny gap here. What I might ultimately be doing is just taking probably the silver, to be honest, and then placing a couple of dots there. Okay. We're gonna do, actually, no, well, why don't we do this? Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let me get a different tool. So this was a 3. Let's go up to a 4. And what do we got? Gray. We can go light gray. I'm happy with that. You can tell I didn't have enough paint on my tool there. I kind of mushed it. One of these days I might have to do a conversion chart between the ball-headed tools or the styluses and the flatheads, but that's a someday project. Okay, we're gonna go down to a 3.5 and do the same thing. And then we'll go down to essentially to a 3. But I'm going to switch to my stylus. And actually, let's take a peek. That might be actually a little big. I think I'm going to go back to the 2. And then we'll meet in the middle. Oh, you know, let's see. Because I don't have a whole lot of room and I don't want it to be too thin. Why don't we walk this one? Because then I can kind of meet them in the middle there. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so I'm going to go down to a 2. I'm just doing one side to start with. I'll go back in and do the other side. Wipe my tool off and then we'll go the other direction. We'll get the other one off of there. Okay, so let's start up here. What I could do, let's see. I think I'm just going to make it easier on myself real quick. So as you can see, I'm putting in the first dot. We know that they're going to come together. Yeah, okay. And then let me switch to a 1. Could even probably go 0.5 for the other one. Yeah. Yep, that works. So instead of doing 2 lines or trying to bump them, I'm just skipping the middle portion and I'm only doing the last 2 dots. And hopefully that makes sense if you can see that. So essentially I'm just making them collide a little more gracefully, right? Probably want to move that one though. Just taking a look at it. Yeah. Make sure I didn't miss any. I did. Since it doesn't bring your eye all the way down yet, I certainly did miss. Okay, there. That one I know is larger, so I'm going to get rid of that one. All right, let's get some swooshes in here. I probably want to, at this point, introduce some of the white as well. What I could do, because I do want to keep it kind of dark. You know what? Let's just go with the dark burgundy. And then we'll do the dark gray. Okay. I'm going to get my stylus here, the 0.5. The one with a slight point. And I think we'll probably go into a 5. With this one being the first one, I always dip my stylus. And I'm going to go from the very top. Make sure I'm in the right spot with my hand here. And all the way down. Midway. And down. Make sure I don't have any gaps. Okay. And as it's slowly drying, finally, this burgundy is darkening up in the center. I'm going to move through these. I don't want to spend too much time on them. And the canvas, by the way, because the swooshes I know are always annoyingly difficult. If you're wondering like, wow, why is that moving so easily? That's because I actually prepared the canvas with just a very light, almost a mist of a glaze. I use a clear glaze. It has a nice texture, but you don't really see that when you use it for the base. but it gives a really nice surface. So in case I do actually have any mistakes, or in this case, you know, for the swooshes, it makes things nice and smooth and easy to move around, easy to remove. You may notice if you're just doing it on maybe painted or sewed canvas or just straight, it doesn't move quite that easily, and it doesn't remove that easily either. If you do try to wipe this off, you're not going to get it all off. So you'll just kind of have to deal with it. Seemed like it got a little thin there, so. Actually, I can pull that one a little bit more on this side. A little fatter. Okay, getting there. Gonna scooch it just a little. Let's see, I'm gonna have to do this one upside down. That was kind of hard to see. I'm going to fill in the gap. I'm going to get another smaller set that is going to accompany this one once I'm finished. We're going to fill in all of the space. Get my tool wiped off, and then I'm quickly going to take a look. Make sure that I'm not having any of these swooshes here that have any gaps. Okay. It's going to be very dark, and it'll kind of blend more back into the black background, but you will still see, for example, if I've accidentally pushed a little too hard and kind of pulled the paint, and it'll separate and form a line. I don't want to see that though. I can probably fit 2 in there. Do I want to do a 3 or 4? If we do a 4, then I would only be able to get, yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm trying to talk out loud, just a little bit of an insight into what I'm thinking when I'm standing here just lean and empty tools on everything. Trying to visualize how the spaces will be filled, if that makes sense. So for these ones where there's already a swoosh involved, I'm not going to go to the middle. I'm going to start on this outside edge. Oops. And then drag the paint just directly down, meeting the other one. This one will follow the line of the swoosh underneath it. And then just fill in. And I'm putting the second dot. If you envision what the first dot looked like, where the bottom of that dot would have been, is essentially where I'm placing this one. Right under the previous. We're going to stay in this dark gray. This particular gray is one that's ever so slightly thicker than I like it. So there is a tiny bit of medium, just a gloss fluid, just a fluid medium added to it. When it dries, it'll still look wet probably on the camera because of that. And none of the other dots have that, so it might stand out a bit. It's not going to matter in the end because I am going to go ahead and seal this. I don't know if I'll continue with the glaze on this one or if I'll do a gloss varnish like the Duraclear or something like that. Kind of see where it goes. with it getting colder a lot quicker, I might not use the glaze. And one of the largest reasons for saying that right now is just because it has a very strong smell. It's not something that I can do indoors. This canvas was already prepped a long time ago. I've just had several of them sitting in my closet waiting for a project, waiting for whenever I wanted to get it done. Yeah, it's a Krylon product that I use. And like I said, I don't even usually bring them in, whatever I've sprayed, whatever project that might have been. I usually don't even bring it in my house for as long as possible, several hours anyways, because even at that point, the smell is so strong, it'll give you a headache. It'll be permeating the room. So I don't know if there's going to be a nice day, again, I should say, between now and when I want to have this finished in a week. Less than a week. Whew. Things are moving so fast. I don't even know if this is going to be one that I'm going to take to my show or not. That might help with the decision on how I want to seal it. Although the gloss varnish does have a smell to it, it's nothing at all like that glaze or like a resin. I can do that indoors. Okay. I know there are so many swooshes, it feels like it takes forever. Last one. Okay, let's get this wiped off. Now at this point, I have dark, dark, light, 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 dark, dark, right? So I need something that's going to bridge that a little bit. That may, let's see. This mid burgundy is probably going to be it. I do have this very, very light white over here that has just a tiny, tiny drop of the burgundy in it, but it really looks so pink, and I'm not sure that I even like it that pink. So yeah, let's do, I'm gonna go through, let's take a peek. Definitely not a, okay. Okay, so we're gonna go with just that mid. And I'm gonna get just a swoosh in here. just following the edge of the gray one. See if I have a good place to put my hand in here. Not really, but we're making do. Could probably go faster than this, but I don't have a really good resting spot for my hand or my wrist. So it's kind of hindering my speed. There we go. Now we have a tiny itty bitty space here. Mm, 2.5, I'm gonna say, let's use that really light, kind of pinkish color, I suppose. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, that'll be fine. I do wish it was not pink. Sort of making everything look full. All right, that's good. That's good as far as that pattern goes. Let me take a quick drink. Let's see. What else do we want to do? I definitely want to extend out on the lines. Let's go back over. I can get, let's see, I'm just debating colors right now, honestly, because like I said, this turned out a lot lighter, that second ring, a lot lighter than what I anticipated, but I do kind of want to bring it back darker because that was my initial plan. This is this really, really nice dark. We'll go light to dark again though. I do need to at least get some of that back in here. So why don't let's use the rose. I need, it's a 5, isn't it? No, that was a 6. Let's do that then. Let's go with a 6. Let's get the rose in. Pick a nice spot for it. And then I'll just progressively use darker burgundy. So the mid and then the dark burgundy as we go out. And then maybe I'll just cap it with the white or the light gray. That should kind of bring it back. How come that one? This one's a little too far up. Wasn't paying enough attention. Make sure that's not wet. Definitely awkward on this side as I'm doing this. I may still go back to my Lazy Susan, but today it is what it is. You know what? And I think I'm going to move. Gonna move it in. I like it in. Hey, Diva Chick, how's it going? Thank you. I've been kind of flip-flopping a little bit. I like it, but like I just said, it feels too light in the center. That row here. So we'll see if I change my mind after. Great, that's better. Two and a half. Let's make this kind of sharp. I can get away with a 1.5, so I'm going to do a whole size down instead of a half. And I have a well full of white paint over there that I don't even think I'm going to use. I think that light gray is plenty light enough. Plus the silver that I'll use on top. I'm so tempted to want to like turn the whole thing. All right, now we'll go back to a 3-5. Okay. Let's scoot this back just a little bit. Maybe it's easier to see. Okay, 3-5, and then I need to add some more burgundy to my palette here. There. Okay, down a size. Why is it that the one color of paint that I always end up getting on me is red? It's not like I walk out here and someone thinks I'm bleeding or anything. Okay. It's never something like blue or purple. Nope, it's got to be the reds that I get all over me. All right, and 2-5. Something happened with these two, and it almost looks like the paint bled into the center circle, but it looks the same on this one, and this one didn't have the dot anywhere near or touching. So I'm not sure 100% what happened there, but I'm going to wait until it dries, and then I'm just going to dot over it. So, yep, I know that's there. Same thing as I did kind of up here. What I think I might do is put a top dot and then swooshes around. It's either another layer of swooshes, just like I have here, these ones, the 3 top dots and then the swooshes. So we would do a dot here, one here, and then bring the swoosh around. Or I can just do one more layer of walk dots. What do you think? No matter what, I need a way to kind of close that in. So it would have to be nice thick dots or a swoosh line. I think it's gonna have to be in the light gray as well. Let's get the top on no matter what. I'm gonna have to remove that one. My hand slipped. Okay, let's try that one again. This is a 3.5, so we did a 4 on top and 3.5 on either side. I think I'm definitely gonna go with the swooshes just because I don't want to repeat the bottom, center, whatever. And then since that's going to be already that far out, I'm gonna have to think about the last little elements that I want just to touch it up and call it done. Trying to steady my hand in there. Just don't have a good place to lay it down. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit more on my palette because I'm gonna need that. And I'm gonna go for the 3. Little 3 stylus. You know what? That might even be a little thick. Let's go to the 2. It won't be too thick and wet, but if I try to draw it out, I don't think enough paint is gonna fall off of it quickly enough. Oh, maybe. I guess I'm gonna try. I'll try it. Yeah, that's okay. This is a short one. All right, where can I put my hand? That one looks horrible. It looks like a straight line. I can't, gonna have to wait. Maybe I'll do that one last. And then enough of the surrounding will be dry and I can just put my hand down there. The silly things we complain about, right? Gosh. I'm going to be coming back to that, so if I don't get it all off, that's okay, because I'm going to be going right back over it. Do myself a favor here. Here we are. So now, maybe one of the things I want to do is maybe just some dots and maybe a diamond pattern or something like that. Just to finish that off there. Just kind of playing around with an idea here. What color do we want that? We probably also want it kind of dark, huh? And then I can always put a lighter top dot on it. We'll go a little bit smaller for the dots on either side. I don't think I mentioned this is a 5. Ooh. Hello. Can't be touching like that. That's inappropriate. Sheesh. And then a 4. And I'll get a dot on either side here. And since this is hanging out by itself, I definitely want to give it a top dot. I probably won't do that this evening though. Let it all dry. I'd also change my mind tomorrow. might look at it and see a different color or maybe a different element or something that I want to add. So. I will not be streaming tomorrow night, that's for sure though. I have an event for my daughter to be going to tomorrow night. So we will be busy. But I suppose there is a small possibility that I could finish this up tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, I'll be back Sunday night. Okay. All right. Like I said, I think I'm going to leave that one there at least for the moment, just because I've still got top dots here and here. I might add in some darker color around this to kind of bring it down a little more. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what I think about it in the morning as things dry out a little bit. And then I'll just kind of take a look and see if there's anything else that I want to put around the outside edge. Oops, I think I've been scraping that. If anybody has any ideas, any suggestions, I mean, if you're watching this before I do the second half, please drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Silver, I've got silver that I need to put in. For sure, I'm going to be topping this row here because this dark, it just makes that silver really sparkle. I've got a dog fur right there, darn it. But anyways, I'm going to try to get that off of there. And in the meantime, let everything dry. Thank you so much, anyone that has popped by. I certainly do appreciate you hanging out with me. And anyone that's watching this after the fact, if you've got any questions, again, drop them below. I've been putting a lot more stuff up on my community tab, so if you're around, you may want to drop in and check that out. Got a couple of polls and things in there, and I'm sure that there's going to be more to come. So as I'm getting ready for the craft shows, more things are going to be dropped in there, a couple more opinion things. So all right, but otherwise I will see you guys, like I said, maybe not tomorrow, but Sunday for sure. Thank you so much again. Take care and have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.